Well, what I love about this episode, and I love all the treat yourself stuff, I do, but what always gets me is the way it's introduced. I love when DJ Blunt's comes in,
brilliant.
you know, and then he introduces Tom, who comes in, and Tom has those treat yourself cupcakes, and then they look down, Tom and Donna look at each other, and Aziz and Red are so good in this talking head they do, where they explain the treat yourself holiday and the various ways they treat themselves, and then they say that like sing song, it's the best time of the year, but I love it. I love it in a way that like I shouldn't love it so much because I worked on the series.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like I have nothing to do with the storyline.
Yeah.
Me
neither.
It's
and I
one
feel
of
the
my
same way.
favorite moments from the series entire run.
Their
This talking
head
head
is the best. Clothes, treat yourself. Fragrances, treat yourself. Massages, treat yourself. Mimosas, treat yourself. Fine leather goods.
Retta saying
treat
fine
yourself.
leather goods. The way her eyes bulge out too.
Oh.
It is great. And it's also
agree.
a great moment. Every so often you get a storyline where two characters are together who should be together because they're great together. But then you have a storyline that brings out the most fun about those characters.
Yeah.
And that is Treat Yourself with Tom and Donna. And what's great is the choice to throw Ben in to gum up the works.
Yeah.
Right? Who is the last person you'd expect to be the third of this group?
Well, because
It's Ben.
also and the reason they bring Ben in at the top of the or near the top of the episode, Ben is having a meeting with Jerry and Donna.
Yes.
And he's being very
ornery,
I guess would be the right word. And where is this form, Jerry? I see you haven't filled this out in 2.5 years. And Jerry's like, what the hell is that? And then Donna's like, yeah, we kind of do that at our own pace. And he's like, Like it really was odd. It was a weird thing. And you knew Ben was going through something. Donna clocked that right away. And so the fact that she brought him into that mix, again, it's the love of the show. It's the love that the characters have for each other. Even though Ben was very new, Donna cared for the guy. And all good sitcom characters have their own selfish things. And if you watch some of the classic sitcoms, people are selfish and stuff. But I think the difference with Parks is as much as that can happen, there's also so much love and caring for the other characters.
Right.
So the fact that she brought him in and Tom was immediately, no, this is our thing.
But then very quickly, he's like, all right.
Yeah.
Right? That's also the fun of it, which is that could have been the entire comedy game, which is, no, don't bring him. And convincing Tom to bring Ben in on this tradition of theirs, that's not what this is. We get that quickly because the fun is actually going to be Ben being there the whole time.
Of course. And Aziz, my God, me with the character names, Tom, who is incredibly selfish at most times, says it's the one day a year that I'm selfish, that I allow myself to be selfish.
Yeah,
dude,
right.
every day you allow yourself to be selfish.
No.
And then, of course, Jerry goes for a cupcake and he slams that down right away. No cupcake for Jerry.
Well, you talk about that moment where Ben is having attitude with Donna and Jerry, and I love where she's like, what's wrong with you? Did they just cancel Game of Thrones? And you can't help but respond incredulously. He's like, they would never cancel Game of Thrones. It's a crossover hit. They're telling human stories in a fantasy world. And I just was watching that in prep for this episode with you today. And I was like, I wonder what Ben's opinion on the final season of Game of Thrones would be. I mean,
he'd go on for
it's
hours.
Controversial. I liked it. I don't understand what all the hate is for, but
to me, I like that. But if you get me talking about the season ending for Ozark, I'll go on for a half hour of how crazed I was.
So I would
love. Depends. Everyone's different.
If we ever do another version of the show, if we get the gang back together, if you all show up again and say like, let's do a sequel series to Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
If we don't find out what Ben thought of the series finale, we have a problem.
We have a big problem.